Okay, so I'm down here at the workbench. I'm working on some final footage for my wire rack here, and I wanted to set up sort of a rotating panning shot. I don't know what the proper term is for it, but that's what I'm trying to do. I've got enough extra hardware and scrap wood lying around. I think I can throw something together here and make a quick project of it. So, check it out. So we're going to start off with a couple of wheels from Inline skates. I actually picked these up from a garage sale, just an old pair of skates for $2, which is about the cheapest you're ever going to find for these type of wheels with nice smooth bearings in the middle. So I got these two. These actually have about a 5/16 inside diameter here. I don't have any 5/16 bolts, so I just got a couple 1/4-20s, and we'll build that up with some electrical tape just so we can get a little bit tighter fit. To support the platform of our pivoting dolly, I'm actually using these two long pieces of scrap wood. These ones happen to be 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch and are just leftover dowel from my dowel cutting fixture from the wire rack project. So I just drew lines from corner to corner to find the center point, drilled them out, and then tapped the holes for the 1/4-20 bolts that I'll be using later. Once the holes were tapped, I just screwed in the bolts and wheels, and they work great. So these two pieces I actually want to sit in sort of a V formation, so they're both pivoting around the same point. But I also want them to stay level with each other. I don't want one sitting on top of the other because then they're not even and flat. So out on the bandsaw, I took both pieces and just obviously very crudely cut out half of each, so then I can flip one around, and we've got these holes here as well to line them up, and then they can pivot around the same point and both pieces are level with each other. So to get this whole system to sit level, I've got to lift the far end here up about 1 inch. So to do that, I found just a couple pieces of 1/2 inch plywood glued together, drilled a hole, and stuck in this 3/8 inch dowel for both of the legs to sit on and pivot on. So we get this one on here first, and the other one. So now we've got a stable platform that rotates about one central point, and thanks to the skate wheels, it moves really smooth. Now that I've got this, I can just take this scrap piece of wood or anything really that you want to put on here, set it on top of your platform, clamp it into place, and now we've got a nice rotating dolly here. Just a note about this pivot point here, you can see when I move mine, it actually rotates the whole base here, which isn't that big of a deal. It actually stays put pretty well because there's weight on it, but if you really want to make sure that stays in place, you might want to put a small screw or nail down in the bottom so it sort of grips into the tabletop or whatever surface you're on so that this doesn't move too much. But for my purposes, this actually works pretty well. It's staying in place and I don't have to worry about it too much. Next, you can just set up your tripod on the platform and start filming. As you can see here, it moves really smooth, and I barely have to push it back and forth. Here's the shot that I was going for, a nice panning, rotating shot around the new wire rack. Here I just flipped the whole dolly around and faced the camera outward away from the pivot point so I could sort of pan by a longer shot here. Because the platform isn't fixed in place, you can move it around, move it in closer, do whatever you need to do to adjust for a close-up shot or any other kind of shot that you might need to get. And here's a close-up pan-around shot of Stanley. And because the system is so simple, it tears down pretty easily and doesn't take up too much space once put away. Now this was just a quick and easy project, built very simply, but it was just enough to get the job done. So I hope you found this interesting and hopefully useful, and thanks for watching.